the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed, laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back, trackside. Once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, the Colonial Clash Racing Truck Series fires things off for round 1 of the championship playoff run. 4 races to decide who will walk away with the Season 3 crown. How you doing? How you feeling out there in TV Land, race fans? Glad you could all join us tonight. As always, Dave in the Cave bringing you all the calls from trackside. The Turkey Triangle in store for us here tonight. Pocono Raceway for the AD 3D 160. Yeah, 65 laps around the 2.5 mile triangle track. Very particular, very different from most other tracks. 106 degrees track temperature, so drivers may be dealing with a little bit of looseness in the tail end of these trucks here tonight. But I tell you what, why don't we go ahead, get rid of that track information as qualifying is underway. Nobody putting down a fast time just yet, so we're not missing out on any of the action for the pole position here tonight. So I tell you what, let's jump right into your championship standings coming into race number 1 of the playoffs here in season number 3 for the Colonial Clash Racing Truck Series. Sitting top of the point standings just by 5 points, winning the regular season championship, walking away with 5 extra bonus points here into round 1. There you can see your top 16 all knotted up, all with each other. And tonight, we will lose 4 of those championship 16 every round. We're going to drop 4 all the way to the season finale. It is going to be a crazy 4-race run here with these truck drivers, and we'll see who's got what it takes to walk away with the season crown. And as we wind down your championship standings, qualifying times beginning to roll in on the track. Let's throw that up to the left-hand side of your screen. There you can see Cody Giles. He's been on a tear as of late. Giles with a quick time, but going faster to the 46 of Chris Medford. Going to lay down the fast lap. 54.95 is your qualifying time for the moment. Tyler Rex getting up to speed. Thomas Smalling, one of the fastest drivers in Happy Hour, Ken. That 21. Revisit victory lane here in season number 3. Smalling going to victory lane. I believe it was one time dominating fashion. As a matter of fact, Smalling walked away with a dominating race win earlier this season. Cody Giles, as we've said, been on a tear as of late. He's got 2 wins in his back pocket coming into tonight's race number 1, round 1 of this 4-race championship rundown. But for the moment, 6 drivers on the speed charts. And Chris Medford leads them all right at about 4 minutes remaining here in qualifying before we will set the grid for tonight's AD3D 160. So 65 laps here, race fans. 65 laps, 2.5 miles. Yes, this track, you can kind of pack up and draft because there are very long straightaways. Just really that short chute there between the tunnel turn and turn 3 that you may not really benefit from the draft. But if you get a good launch off of turn 3 to head down that long straightaway to turn number 1, draft can really do you some help, as well as a long pond straightaway there from exit of 1 to the entrance of the tunnel turn. So with drafting still available, are tires going to be a factor? What's the fall off going to be? Will we see somebody run this as a road course? We know when the big boys come to play here in the NASCAR series, typically some of them will run it as a road course, meaning run that fuel strategy backwards as soon as the fuel window's opened, going ahead and coming down to pit lane, trying to minimize the time lost over the course of a long green flag run. And with long green flag runs, we get quite spread out here at Pocono. Top of the speed charts, taking the top spot away. Thomas Smalling going to grab the quick time in qualifying. Now belongs to that 21 of Thomas Smalling, of 54.92. Now the quick time. John Garrett going to slide into the 5th position. Had the pleasure of watching John actually compete this season here at Pocono Raceway in the Arca Menard Series back in, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that was back at the end of July. Could have possibly been the end of June. No, it was July. Yes, it was July. See, it was such a good weekend, I don't even remember when it was. That tells you something. Brandon Medford going to break himself into the top 5 with a 4th place showing. Here in qualifying, Nathan Estep in the 55. He's going to bring himself to pit road, sliding in that 10th position. Still Mark Parkhurst, Dalton Hayes, Scott Baker, James Hoot, and Juan Jimenez yet to put in their time lap. Looks to be about a minute and a half remaining here in qualifying, so these drivers are going to have to get on it to lay down these fast times to try to take away the pole position from the man at the top of the speed charts. The 21 of Thomas Smalling leads them all with the quick time, 54.92. You know, who's your... You think, Spencer, out of turn 2? You think the tunnel turn is going to give drivers trouble here tonight? I think turn 3 is going to sneak up on a handful of these drivers. I think that's, personally, I think that's going to be an interesting spot. Turn 2 can be a little bit tricky as well, so we can't necessarily count out what Teal's saying out there in TV land. We do appreciate you joining us here tonight, watching the 83D 160 for the Colonial Clash Racing Truck Series, season number 3 championship rundown. And Jimenez going to be hard-pressed to get in a time lap here. He's only got 60 seconds remaining, and he still hasn't laid down his first time lap, so it's going to be probably a one-and-done for that 22 of Jimenez. Talk about lonely, man. Looking at the speed charts, there isn't a Ford in the field here tonight. It's all bow ties except for the Lone Ranger himself. Juan Jimenez, the only driver out there not in a Chevy. He's gonna have to find some manufacturer help somewhere. That Tundra is gonna be look a little bit out of place in a sea of Chevys rolling down the track here at Pocono Raceway. And, well, just about your final few seconds rolling off of qualifying, and then Jimenez has trouble off of 4. That's going to do it for his qualifying attempts and chances, and that's going to do it. Thomas Smalling going to wrap up the pole position with a 54.92. We're going to step away for a brief commercial break, then head trackside for the national anthem. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Back trackside high above Pocono Raceway as qualifying has come to a close. Thomas Smalling taking the top spot moments ago, and drivers begin to make their way to the starting grid. And as we get set to kick off tonight's 83D 160 here from Pocono Raceway, what do you say we jump a little closer to the track as you begin to hear those bells ring in the background? You know the sounds. You know it's time to run down tonight's starting lineup for the 83D 160 here for the Colonial Clash Racing Truck Series. Starting inside row number 1, rolling off with the pole position, the 21 of Thomas Smalley. Chris Medford right to his outside. Cody Giles back inside row number 2. Just his outside. Brandon Medford, yet another Falcon Motorsports teammate. It looks like we got a little mix-up here on pit road. Handful of drivers not ready to roll, so we'll join the field as they head through turn number 1 and down the long pond. The straightaway starting inside row number 3, 48 of Brandon Pamitat. Mark Parkhurst in the 23 machine going to start just to his outside. 66 Fort Worth screen printing esports machine of John Garrett going to start in the 7th position. With the 37, Guy Clem just to his outside and 8th. Back in row number 5 tonight, the 84 of Tyler Rex and the 41 of John Gutekunst. 55 of Nathan Eastep will roll off in 11th with Tyler Woodard rolling out that Woodard Automotive. 77 in the 12th position. Back inside row number 7, starting in that 13th position, the 47 of Dustin Franklin, followed by the 74 of Dalton Hayes. Juan Jimenez, Scott Baker, and James Oop round out the field for tonight's 83D 160 as the pace car ducks off. We're getting ready to fire off. Music will fade, and we are green flag racing for the first time here tonight. And Pocono Raceway drivers going to fan out here, looking to the bottom of the racetrack, looking to grab a couple of positions. I do believe that was, see that truck number right there. I believe that was John Garrett making that move on the opening of tonight's race. We'll stay side by side off of 1. And we can expect to see this side-by-side racing for a handful of laps until drivers kind of sort themselves out. And look at the sea of yellow out there. Those are all championship drivers. Very easy to notice, very easy to know who's battling for that season championship. And I believe missing that banner right now is a handful of these drivers up inside. Your top 5, Cody Giles battling for a championship. He's missing those yellow stripes, so we'll talk to the wrap department, trying to get that all straightened out. As we stay green flag racing here on lap number 2, what do you say we go ahead and drop down that timing and scoring for you, let you follow along, find your favorite driver out there on the track, see how they're going. Brandon Pamitan right there, still sitting in 5th. Your top 8 all running right where they qualified here tonight. John Garrett going to move up 1 spot from 7th to 6th. He's going to push Mark Parkhurst back to the 7th position as we begin to see these cars slowly trickle into a single file formation as we head back through turn number 3. Back across the stripe here, pole sitter still continues to lead this race. Smalling was very dominant on the road course. Will he be able to produce another dominating performance here tonight in that Pro Cup racing experience? Number 21 Chevy. It is not a Camaro. It is definitely a Silverado. A little slip of the tongue there. Almost went with the Chevy Camaro, but that is not the ZL1. That is definitely the Silverado out there. We talked about the Lone Ranger. We talked about Juan Jimenez earlier here tonight. Let's take a look at him, get a little closer here as Jimenez making his way through this field. And you can see that Toyota Tundra starting to carve him up 2 positions already, moving inside of the top 15. Jimenez looks to have a little bit of a storybook season. I don't want to call it a Cinderella season, but jumping out of race control and race admin duties from last season here in season number 2 of the Colonial Clash Racing Series. Jimenez was keeping everybody straight out there on the track, was invited down, and he has produced here this season, walking away with 2 race wins, working his way into a championship contending position. Look for Jimenez to make a big splash. And I think that's, if I had to pick a dark horse, well, I got to go with the guys that are stuck in these production booths with us and stuck in the race control booths. And whenever they get the opportunity to get out there on the track, it's always good to watch them succeed. Maybe a biased opinion, but hey, it is what it is. Woo! Close racing action there off of turn number 2. Nathan Estep almost involved in a little bit of a scuffle there with the 74. We do apologize. That is the, yes, that is the 74. Yes, it is the 74 of Dalton Hayes. And well, we're looking at Dustin Franklin right here behind that 55 Circle B diecast Chevy Silverado of Nathan Estep, and we had a little bit of a chuckle. I mean, it was out loud, it was supposed to be to ourselves, but mirror numbers here on this 47 Fort Worth screen printing esports Chevy Silverado of Dustin Franklin. When he's going by, look at it, that's 74 right there, but that he is definitely listed in the 47 machine. Maybe a little bit of issues with the people in the wrap department over there as well. I'm sure they'll have a talk with the boss man, get that all straightened out and fixed up. We'll jump back inside of the top 5. What do you say we go back up here? Battle between Brandon Bamatat, John Garrett, Mark Parkhurst right there in that 23 machine. Trying to close in behind is the 84 of Tyler Rex. Rex has had some good runs as of late as well. Can the 84 work his way inside of the top 5 in battle for a checkered flag? Your top 2 stepping away from the rest of the field. Almost a 1 second advantage for Smalling over Medford as the 46 begins the gap. The guys behind him as well. Medford with almost a 2 second advantage over Cody Giles in that 7 machine, just off in front of the 48 as we head off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. There goes race leader Thomas Smalling. He's going to bring this entire field down into the tunnel turn. Man, I love to hear those drivers going by. That is absolutely a great sound. And I tell you what, if you're a race fan and you haven't been to Pocono Raceway, you gotta go and you gotta infield camp. It is absolutely an amazing time. I've been to a lot of different racetracks, stayed in a lot of different areas, and by far, Pocono infield, it comes close to Talladega. I mean, Talladega and Talladega Boulevard a little bit further out there on some of the craziness and shenanigans that go down, but Pocono Raceway, I'm telling you what, book it. I don't know where you're going to book it. Go to booking.com. It's a great website. No affiliations or anything like that. But I'm not sure if I legally had to say that. But anyways. Yeah, I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Racing all weekend long. You can hang out in the middle of the day, watch the cars going around the track. You can hear them pretty much at all times. Just an all-around great racing weekend. Hats off to Pocono Raceway and all the fans up there. Another sold-out event back in July, and we're going to look to sell that thing out once again. Why? Well, it's dear to our heart. Just down the road from the Turn 3 headquarters, that's right. So, just always a good time when we get to visit up there at the Tricky Triangle. And right here, we've got a battle for that 8th position. Nathan Estep in the Circle B diecast Chevy Silverado has been able to run down the 41 of John Gutekunst right there in that 41 Eurotech machine. 1776 Motorsports driver trying to navigate his way into a top 5. Gutekunst well, everybody's knotted up. He had a great regular season, finished, I believe, 7th or 8th overall in the regular season rundown. So a good season all in all and all around for that 41 machine. He's going to look to try to get that Girotech sponsored Silverado into victory lane before the end of this year. But we'll take a look back at the front race leader. All 10 laps in the bag now for the 21 Pro Cup Racing Experience sponsored machine. Thomas Smalling begins to walk away. Medford slowly, I mean about 100th or so here and there, catching up. So wonder if now maybe Smalling playing a little tire strategy, maybe a little fuel strategy, maybe not pushing quite as hard, just knowing that they got themselves about a 3-second buffer back to 3rd place. So no need to really push right now, no need to overwork those tires, and who knows, we may see just a 2-tire stop by one of these race leaders, or maybe even one of the drivers in the back battling for positions here. Still a lot of heavy action there. You can see all of them lined up heading down the front stretch back into turn number 1 as lap number 11 goes on the board. We do appreciate that. Spencer clarifying that. So maybe just forgetting to change it over there on the shading paint side of things. It is what it is. No harm, no foul. We all know who those Fort Worth screen printing esports motorsports drivers are. Fort Worth screen. Never mind. Oh my Lord. Medford closing in, gap now down to under a half a second. He has caught up to Thomas Smalling. And I wonder if this really is a playing possum strategy at this point, or if there's just that much speed inside of that 46 machine. In the Sim Speed Shop, Zoe's Place, 46, a rundown. Pole sitter Thomas Smalling leading all 11 laps so far. They head back into turn number 2. Not quite going to be within striking distance just yet. We'll have to wait for a look into turn 3. Or we'll go around one more time before Medford tries that run. Let's go back through the field, though, run around that 7th position. Let's check out this 84 of Tyler Rex making his way around the track. He's up 2 positions from where he qualified here tonight, running in the 7th position. Nathan Estep and John Gutekunst right behind him. Estep has been able to get by that 41 machine, but they stay nose to tail down the front stretch. Back into turn number 1 once again. Lap 13 goes on the board. We'll try to jump around just a little bit here, try to bring you all of the action that we can. There's a brief look at that 37 of Guy Clem trying to close in on Dustin Franklin. There you can see Clem just kind of lurking in the background, trying to hang tight, hang tough right here. As looks like maybe Franklin may have had an issue. Looks like we may have some damage. Like the right front had a little bit of a crease in it, and maybe it was just the shadows going down the backstretch. Still looking clean out there. Franklin sits in 10th. Back across the stripe, lap number 14 now underway here at the Tricky Triangle, Pocono Raceway, hosting race number 1 here in season number 3's championship rundown for the Colonial Clash Racing Series. Want to give a big shout out to all of the sponsors this season, Renovations, as well as Goose Graphics, AD3D, Fort Worth Screen Printing, also coming on board, Girotech, another one of the great sponsors, Butt Kicker. You can never forget about Butt Kicker. Involved in multiple different series and multiple different leagues. A big shout out to all the guys and girls back at Butt Kicker for everything they provide us with. Get us on the closest thing that you can to being in an actual race car. You can feel every single thing. They're absolutely amazing. The future is feeling. ButtKicker.com. Lap number 15 on the board. Thomas Smalling's advantage. But it is all. Bud went away. Let's go up to this race lead. We got a battle for the top spot. Down the backstretch they go, coming right at you into turn number 2. Smalling still with the advantage, still with the race lead. They'll stay nose and tail through the tunnel turn, head down and battle. Head out into turn number 3 for your race lead. And not going to have a look just yet. Medford gonna stay in the tire tracks of your race leader. Thomas going back through turn number 3. Work right here. The entire field going by as we get set to cross the start and finish line and begin lap number 16. We'll head back down into turn number 1. Will we see a move to the bottom by Medford? No, he's going to stay in line and stay in tow. Tell you what, let's take a look if we can. How about a look off of the tail end of the Pro Cup Racing Experience sponsored number 21 machine. There you can see Builder's First Source as well as Woodard Automotive coming on board, sponsoring with this 21 truck. Smalling with a good point showing in the regular season, dominating, absolutely dominating performance at the road course earlier this season, and Medford just won't go away. How about the run here by Medford? Great job, great run by both of these drivers. We stay green flag racing, heading back across the stripe. Lap number 17 goes on the board, and we move closer to a third of the way through tonight's race, and we got a torrent pace on our hands here. Drivers laying down some quick times here in race trim. And battle for first and second. Let's go back to the battle for third and fourth. Cody Giles and Brendan Pamitan both going at it. Pamitan right there looking for a position in that U.S. Air Force number 48 sponsored machine. Can he get the job done? Can he get the position? Tell you what, let's jump on board right around here inside of the cockpit with the driver of that 48 machine, the Long Island native Brendan Pamitan. Talk to me, Goose. Trying to get another position. And I don't know, Brandon, it's a thing now. I did it once and now it's a thing. It's just a thing. And we got green flag pit stops as Thomas Smalling pulls off of the racetrack and down to pit lane. That's going to bring a handful of drivers along with them. Big list of drivers down onto pit road. Gotta make sure you get down to pit road speed. Smalling, Garrett, Rex, Goodguns, Franklin, Medford, and Ott all onto pit road. 7 trucks deciding to head down to get at least some fuel. We'll have to look at the timing and scoring and keeping our eye down there on pit lane. Looks like most of the drivers at least electing to get right sides, and we've got left sides going on. Most of them now, so indeed 4 tire stop for all of the trucks that came down pit road last time around. What will your new race leader at the front of the field, Brandon Medford, do this time around? You can see Medford right there. Will he work his way towards pit road? And it looks like he will. Giles and Pamitan going to follow suit. Here comes Parkhurst. Nathan Estep. He's going to stay out on the racetrack. He's going to lead a lap. That's going to give us just our third different race leader here tonight as the Circle B diecast number 55 Chevy Silverado stays out on the track. He'll get a point for leading a lap, but how much will he give up in this long run? That's what you really got to watch, because you can see nobody's really going to fall a lap down. Unless you're in the back and you pit before the race leaders, you typically will not go a lap down here at Pocono Raceway. But you also have to watch that gap. You got to watch that pit road delta. If these drivers begin to get closer than what they are right now. There it is, Nathan Estep, crew chief, on the horn, bringing him to pit road, getting right at that window. Estep may lose a spotter here, staying out a little bit long. Scott Baker also going to bring himself down pit road. And Juan Jimenez, he's going long here. Does he got a hybrid in that Toyota? Definitely not a Prius engine in that Toyota, the Tundra, thundering around here at Pocono Raceway. Jimenez will become our 4th different leader of the night. 3 lead changes so far. We stay clean and green here from Pocono Raceway. Round number 1. Season number 3's championship rundown. The playoff starts tonight. The cutoff is tonight. You have got to be one of the top 12 championship drivers to walk away with a chance at it next week when we head to, I believe we are heading to Dover. As there, Jimenez was saving gas just to get to pit lane. We'll have to see how much time he gives up. Thomas Smalling already working his way back around the track. And I stand corrected. We will head to Atlanta next week, then off to Dover, before we find out who our championship 4 will be. And look at that advantage. 1 lap sooner, coming to pit road, and he picked up all sorts of time. Thomas Smalling now with a 3.3 second advantage over Chris Medford. We're going to check the timing and scoring, and it looks like he was about a second faster on and off pit road. In total, just his pit crew was about 0.2 faster, so a little time came there. So all on driver effort right there. The 21 machine of Thomas Smalling pushing it to the limit and walking away with a big gap back to the field. This is where you can really begin to dictate the rest of the race and the rest of the race strategy. Big time advantage now for your race leader, your pole sitter, Thomas Smalling, back to the front. As we mentioned, Chris Medford right here in that 46 truck. He's been running up in the front, up in second all night long, right where he qualified in Zoe's place. Sim Speed Chop, Falcon Motorsports driver. Somehow find a way, somehow find a strategy to get up and around Thomas Smalling and take over the race lead. It's been a long while since we have seen either of the Medfords to victory lane. Will they produce another race win here tonight? And I'm seeing a little something here, and oh no. We have been, I won't say we. Last week we seen a Falcon Motorsports driver walk away with a great finish in another podium. He's ran well all season. He has the most wins this season, to be a matter of fact. Troy Radford not here tonight. We'll have to check with league officials and see if there's any type of provisional or anything like that, but I do believe Radford's championship run has come to an end here in round number 1. Oh my goodness, that's dangerous is what that is. And sitting right now, it looks like Jimenez and Ott would join Radford out of a championship contention. Tyler Woodard also right there, close to being out of the championship. But how about the telltale story? We'll go look at a Falcon Motorsports driver right here. The 83 of Brandon Medford struggling here tonight. Big struggles for Medford as he's dropped 8 positions throughout tonight's race. And he's now outside of your top 10, running in the 12th position. Oh, and all it will take is Medford losing a spot here to any of the 3 drivers that are behind him in the running order right now. And that would put him on the outside of your cutoff line. We started tonight's race with 16 drivers fighting for their playoffs lives. We will have 12 moving on to Atlanta next week to continue their championship dreams. And oh my gosh, did you see Tyler Woodard sideways out of turn number 3? My goodness. I like the effort. I like to see the effort. 25 laps into tonight's 65-lap event. The AD 3D 160. We have been green all race long. Drivers beginning to slip and slide just a little bit, as things a little quiet back here near the rear of the field. Let's go back here as this battle continues, but the positions have been swapped. Brandon Pamitat, the 48 U.S. Air Force sponsored show. Who is that with a run to the bottom? I believe that was John Garrett with a huge move to the bottom, trying to get way away from everybody and out of the draft. Garrett will take a position away, move inside. Excuse me, and move inside the top 5 for the first time here tonight. But as we were speaking, the 48 of Pamitat with a good run, up 2 positions from where he qualified. Now sitting in that final podium position. And what a way to really start off. And see, that's why we love you tuning in here, Spencer, giving us all the ins and outs right there. So Failer not here either. Yes, good catch right there as well. Failer not here. So that's going to be 2 of your drivers immediately gone right there. Yeah, it's going to be tight, man. You know, so I mean, we're really battling for 2 positions here. And you got drivers that are in those championship spots really battling with each other close on the track. I mean, one misstep and things could go bad, and our championship outlook can change in a heartbeat, especially if we have one of those caution flags, one of those pesky cautions, bringing the field to a crawl. It could spell trouble a little later. We'll see how it all shakes out. But here, let's go back to a big battle, 3-truck battle off of turn number 3. And there you can see John Gutekunst, Nathan Estep, Dustin Franklin all going at it back across the stripe once again. I tell you what, why don't we go on board here with John Gutekunst in that number 41 truck. Just down in front of Nathan Estep. A good look out the windshield here before we take a look off of the tail end of the 41 Girotech sponsored machine. There's a good look at Nathan Estep trying to close in inside the top 10, running in the 9th position. Still a net gain of 2 for Estep, even though he had that long run as he stretched the fuel there in that opening green flag stint. Not really suffering as much as what we may have thought. Almost 14 and a half seconds behind the race leader, but a good run right here. He may be able to capitalize and grab a spot or 2 before green flag pit stops happen again. And they are just around the corner. We are less than 10 laps to go here before we should see drivers heading back down pit road one more time. Things heating up right here for that 9th position. We'll jump back outside of the trucks once again as we head through turn number 1 and back down the backstretch we roll. Big move into the corner right there. Nathan Estep going to make a big move to gain some track position. battle slowly dissipating, but let's move up here. How about this one right here going on right now? The 23 of Mark Parkhurst looking to the inside of John Garrett in the 66 Fort Worth screen printing. Esports machine trying to walk away. A one-off, if you will, so far this season. Walking away with a race win. Checkered flag at Talladega Super Speedway just a handful of weeks ago. And I can't speak for Failer. I don't believe he is from Florida, but I know Troy is a Pennsylvania native. I won't lie, I'm a little at a loss for the fact that Troy's not here tonight with such a good run in the season going for him. So I'll look forward to trying to catch up with Troy and make sure everything's okay with him. But no, Troy based out of Pennsylvania. And hopefully, I do want to say hopefully, that Failer not down there in Florida. It's going to be a rough, day or two, 3 or more. It's gonna be a rough one for a handful of people down there in Florida, and our thoughts, hearts, and prayers continue to stay with them as they deal with Hurricane Ian. Didn't want to dwell too much on it. Tried not to speak about it, but it is a big storm, and it is got a heavy effect on a lot of different areas. A lot of cool phenomenon coming out of Florida, kind of that reverse storm surge in the Tampa Bay area as Ian was making landfall. So a very cool little phenomenon that takes place from time to time with some of these big storms. But with big storms comes damage, carnage, and chaos. So so it's, we just got to pray for the best for them down there, and a handful of the Turn 3 associates down there in Florida. So we've had the opportunity to reach out to them, and all of them doing well. Maybe half of them no power right now, but all of them doing well. So we do appreciate the thoughts about everybody not here with us tonight, and down there in Florida continuing to deal with just a massive hurricane. We're trying to get the tornado vortex theory going here at Pocono. We ain't got to worry about rain. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania at Pocono Raceway. You're watching the AD 3D 160 here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. As we've reached just at that halfway point, we do want to stay right here. We do want to stay with these battles. We want to keep you with all of the action, but we do need those driver highlights and spotlights, your mid-race report, your driver spotlight's going to begin with the man at the front, showing the way he's led the majority of the race here tonight, snatching the pole position. Inside of that Pro Cup Racing Experience, number 21, Thomas Smalling continues to show the way, continues to dominate here from Pocono. Driver sitting back in the second position, right where he qualified, the Knightstown, Indiana native. Out of the Falcon Motorsports stable, the race for Riley's, Zoe's Place, Sim Speed Shop. Yes, there it is. Sim Speed Shop sponsored. Number 46, Brandon Medford, looking to continue his podium ways. He's been inside the top 5 pretty much every single race. You can find him with a home right here. Yeah, on the podium. Very familiar man in these post-race interviews. Back in 4th, Long Island native Brandon Pamitat going to stay out on the track and keep this 4th position. Green flag pit stops are underway, but rounding out your top 5 in the BJ sponsored 23, New Hampshire native trying to get it done wicked fast in that Chevy Silverado here tonight. Parkhurst sits in 5th. Biggest mover of the race running in the 6th position right now, the Harrison, Michigan native. John Gutekunst looking to go ice fishing here in just a handful of weeks. It's a little too cold for my blood right there, but the Goose Graphics sponsored 1776 Motorsports driver looking to push that Gyrotech machine a little closer to the front. We'll see if he can't pick up any more positions, grabbing 4 already here tonight. And that's going to do it for your driver highlights and spotlights, your mid-race report, your driver rundown. As green flag pit stops continue, Smalling, Medford, Pemitat all going to pull to pit lane. Gutekunst's going to join them. Giles and Parker stay out at the front of the field. Just a handful of lead changes here tonight from Pocono Raceway as Cody Giles stretches the fuel run this time around. Last time he was on pit road was 18 laps ago. Looks like he's going to put down another 18 exactly before bringing his Martin Sports Gyrotech machine to pit lane to the attention of his crew members. And there he is. He's going to head to pit lane this time around. Nice smooth entry to pit lane. Mark Parkhurst is going to stay out the 23 machine. Will trying to lead a lap, and Parkhurst will cross the line and become your new race leader here at Pocono Raceway. We've had 6 lead changes, 5 different race leaders here tonight. Clean and green for all 37 laps here in the AD 3D 160. Looking through the timing and scoring, and it looks like we've got 3 drivers. I apologize. 3 drivers yet to hit pit lane. Parkhurst, Estep, and Clem. All yet to come down pit lane for their second stop of the night. And I mean, I don't think they're going to make this a 2-stopper. I don't think anybody, that's much better. I don't think anybody is going to have enough in the tank to stretch it. Nathan Estep was one of the final drivers to make his way to pit lane under that first green flag pit cycle. Juan Jimenez was able to keep it out there 1 lap further, but Estep already seems to be saving fuel here, and I don't know. We're only seeing about 19 to 20 laps on a run. Even if you make it to lap 40, that's still 26 laps. I just don't see a way that strategy is going to work out. Maybe possibly trying to make it a 1 can of fuel stop when they have to come once again towards the end of tonight's race. So we'll see how it all works out. We'll see how it all pans out. Nathan Estep continues to show the way. Juan Jimenez back in second with Thomas Smalling back up to third. And I mean, just look at the time being lost right now. You can follow along over there on the left-hand side of your screen. Look at it. Going down into turn number 1 right here. 19.6 seconds back is Thomas Smalling from your race leader in the Circle B diecast Chevy Silverado. Nathan Estep losing a lot of time here, staying out on these much older tires, but you also have to keep in mind lap number 34 is when Thomas Smalling came down pit road, so a 5-lap difference on the fuel right here already. And will that number continue to grow? In contact with the outside wall, Nathan Estep gets in to the outside wall coming out of the tunnel turn. Didn't look to be very hard. Significant contact, so the 55 keeps it rolling. Will he come down pit lane this time around? Yes, he is. He's going to make the left-hand turn and head down pit lane this time around. The 22 of Juan Jimenez. What will he do? And it looks like he's going to go ahead and call it a run as well. Down off of the racing surface onto pit lane. And Jimenez brings his 22 Toyota Tundra to the attention of his crew as Thomas Smalling goes sailing by up to speed next to that outside wall. And Smalling has regained the race lead. And we've got pit road penalties here in this second round of green flag pit stops. Oh my goodness. Too fast entering for Christopher Medford. Chris Medford in that 46 Falcon Motorsports machine running second. When he headed to pit road, the pit road police pop him, hand out a ticket, and it's a quite hefty one. The 46 now back in 13th. Tough woes here tonight for that 46. Brandon Pemitat also picking up a pit road penalty. The 48 gonna lose a ton of track time and a ton of positions. He's gonna be all the way back now in the 14th position. These two championship drivers have got to dig deep now with just 25 to go. One more round of green flag pit stops. They gotta hope for a little bit of help on the back end. And could that be the deciding factor for who moves on in the championship and who watches from the outside? Could the pit road penalties be the deciding factor here tonight, as the 21 gonna make his way around Scott Baker, the 5 sitting back in the 16th position? Trouble here for the 65 of James Ott very early. He's going to be 2 laps down for the moment here on one of those championship drivers. So with Failer, Radford not here tonight. Ott sitting 2 laps down. It looks like it may be a battle between Medford and Pemitat for who's going to get to move on and who is going to go home. 24 laps to go, and we've got gaps all through the field. Thomas Smalling leads by 1.8 seconds over Cody Giles. What a run for Giles. He was able to make up a good bit of ground coming to pit lane. Last time into pit road, he was the fastest driver on and off pit road, so a very good job by not just the driver, but the pit crew as well, gaining Giles a position in a lot of track time. Giles going to now take over that second position. John Garrett quite a ways back, over 10 seconds back for John Garrett. So right now your top 3 positions, your podium spots, I don't want to call them figured out, but they're pretty much, we'll call them stable here. And it looks like for the moment, Smalling, Giles, Garrett, Parkhurst will move on. Tyler Ricks in the 84 in a good position, rounding out your top 5. And, you know, what a turn of events here for Falcon Motorsports. They had one of their drivers on the cusp of being out, on the, you know, right on the verge of it. The other one inside of your podium positions. Now, after your second round of green flag pit stops, we've got the other Falcon Motorsports driver now on the fringes of not making it, with his teammate Brandon Medford turning his race around, jumping all the way up to 6th with a good, fast, clean pit stop back on lap number 34. So the 83 machine trying to make his way to the front. I tell you what, why don't we go back? Let's check out a battle. Let's go back here between Guy Clem and Nathan Estep, battling it out for position on the racetrack, and head back down into turn number 1 here. 22 laps remain in the 83 160. Nose to tail battle down the backstretch and back into the tunnel turn. Guy Clem trying to fend it off, but it's going to be a tall task. The Circle B diecast 55 of Estep, much fresher tires, a little bit more fuel. It looks like he's got a little bit more speed As they'll hug the yellow line, Clem going to go up to the top of the racetrack, not able to pull the pass off just yet. Going to utilize a little bit of the slipstream in the draft down the front stretch to look for a move back down into turn number 1 we go. Here you go, coming right at you. E-step not able to look, not able to try to grab the spot just yet. We'll work our way up a turn 1. Back down the backstretch goes a long train of cars, and we've got a close battle beginning to take fold up front. Let's go a little closer, fellas. What do you say we move up to that battle? Inside your podium positions, here comes John Garrett. Garrett and Parkhurst going at it. Switching positions, and now into the final spot in the podium is that 23 of Parkhurst. He's going to slide in and take that third spot away from John Garrett, who now falls back to 4th. Tyler Rex trying to close in. Clawing, scratching, fighting his way a little bit closer to a podium position. There you can see the 84 just off in the background, trying to make his way around the lap machine. Gonna grab the track position, the odd renovations, number 65. A little bit of a rough go and a struggle here tonight for James Hunt. Unfortunately, unless some things change pretty rapidly here, it looks like the 65's opportunity and chances at a championship trophy here in season number 3 will close with the checkered flag here tonight from Pocono Raceway. The 5 of Scott Baker gonna peel to pit lane. Baker also multiple laps down here tonight with less than 20 laps to go. A little bit of house cleaning. Haven't got to it all night. What do you say we go ahead and give it to you now? Started tonight's race with 17 drivers. We've still got 17 out there on the track, but only 14 left on the lead lap. Brandon Pamitat is the final driver listed on the lead lap. Only about 10 seconds in front of your race leader. Let's go up here, take a look at your race leader, and you can see Cody Giles still lurking in the background. The 7 open. You can find a way to get up there and get a little closer, maybe battle for the checkered flag here tonight. But you can see just off in front that I believe that was Brandon Pamitat out in front of your race leader, Thomas Smalling, who's absolutely putting together, I don't want to call it a dominating performance, but it's been pretty much in hand. Let's go that route with it. Very quick unloading the truck here at Pocono this race week for that 21 crew. Fastest in happy hour. Fastest in qualifying. Leading the most laps here tonight, and it's pretty much a wrap now. He's going to walk away with the most laps led as well here tonight from Pocono Raceway. We've seen him do it before. Can he do it again as we've got pit stops underway? John Garrett gonna pull that 66 to pit lane. Big undercut attempt right here for Garrett, right on the fringes of that fuel mileage window. We talked about drivers running these bigger tracks a little backwards sometimes, a little road course strategy on the fuel mileage, and John Garrett's crew calls him to pit lane. He's going to look to try to gain some time with some fresh tires as drivers continue their green flag run. Cody Giles sits back in second, now just 2 spots back from Smalling. Mark Parkhurst securing that 3rd position. Tyler Rex going to take over 4th with Brandon Medford right behind him, and Rex going to pull the pit lane, so the 84 looking for a little bit of time, pulling it to pit road a little early here. You can see John Garrett getting back up to speed just in front of your race leader. That is a big moment right there. Absolutely huge moment for John Garrett, being able to stay on the lead lap while Tyler Rex and Tyler Woodard be able to keep themselves on the lead lap. It's all going to matter about what Smalling and Giles do this time around off of turn number 3, and he's going to keep it out on the racetrack. Your race leader, Thomas Smalling, going to cross the line and give us just 16 to go. I want to go check in right around your biggest mover of the race. Let's go check in right here with that 47 of Dustin Franklin and the 37 of Guy Klim. Klim's got Nathan Estep right behind him, right on his rear deck lid. The Circle B diecast 55 hasn't been able to make that spot up just yet. He's been right here battling with him pretty much ever since they got back up to speed after the final green flag pit stop, or I should say the previous green flag pit stop. We do apologize. Had to clear our throat there just a little bit. And still battling, man, here side by side. 55 looks to the inside, heading down into turn number 3. Will he grab the spot this time around? Gonna dive it off in the corner, gain a little bit of ground through the center. Guy Klim at the top will not be denied. He'll stay throttled up and he'll keep the position for the moment as Brandon Medford, John Gutekunst, and Dustin Franklin all make their way to pit lane. Smalling, Giles, Parkhurst, Klim, and Estep around out your top 5. Man, I don't want to say I'm surprised at the way that the long run has worked out for this man right here inside of that 22 Toyota Tundra. Juan Gimenez has been able to run it long here all night long. And he finds himself at the end of tonight's race. 12 laps to go. This time by Jimenez, up 9 positions from where he started. Qualified all the way back in 15th. He's now into 6th, and he will look to gain a handful of more positions as we continue this final green flag pit stop. Running a little longer than what he has been is your race leader right here out front. Now, just as we mentioned him staying out a little longer, he's going to prove us wrong, and he's going to go ahead and head to pit road. Cody Giles, he will stay out. He's got a good draft in front of him right here, and I believe he's closing in on a handful of drivers. That is Brandon Medford in the 83, just off in front of him. Brandon has made his final pit stop. So has the man just behind him, John Gutekunst in the 41, already making his final pit stop of the night, but he has falling off of the lead lap. Thomas Smalling going to bring his 21 truck down the pit lane for what should be and could be the final time here from Pocono Raceway. What a way to kick off round number 1 here in season number 3's championship rundown. Then a very wide open race. I call it a wide open race as your race leader Cody Giles comes to pit road this time around. Nathan Estep and Guy Klim, who were battling lap after lap, they've settled things out. Estep grabbing the position, and he will assume the race lead. Well, he'll assume the race lead if he stays out right here. We do believe that's going to be the strategy and bring us to just 10 laps to go here at Pocono. But a track and a race that's pretty much wide open with tire and fuel strategy. And here it is, late in the going. We got different strategies. We've seen different strategies all night. Pit road penalties going to be a big story stepping away from Pocono as we head to Atlanta next week. Atlanta going to host round number 2 as we'll drop 4 of these championship 16 out of the running. And 12 drivers will try to tackle Atlanta next week. I mean, it's going to be a gauntlet at the end of the season here for these championship competitors. As we've already said, a very wide open track, very wide open on strategy, wide open on the gas pedal as well here at Pocono Raceway. But even next week when we head to Atlanta and then Dover, going to be very challenging to make it to those final 4, battling for a championship at Homestead. We're only 3 more events, and we're going to crown a season champion. To you got what it takes. Who's going to do what needs to be done, and who's going to do whatever it takes to get the job done? We'll have to see who your final 12 are standing at the end of tonight's AD 3D 160. Who's going to fight for it at Atlanta Motor Speedway? But first, we've got the final 9 laps remaining here at Pocono Raceway. We'll head through turn number 3 here with your race leader, Nathan Estep. How long will he be willing to stay out? And I honestly think with Thomas Smalling off in the background there, you can see him just 5.5 seconds back. If Estep pits, he's not going to win this race. Guy Clem in the 37, he's going to go ahead and see the 37 into the box. Final stop of the night for Guy Clem. Will he keep himself in a championship contention? It's getting hot and heavy back here near those final cutoff spots. We already know Radford, Thaler out of contention. James Ott multiple laps down. He will not move on into round number 2. Tyler Woodard now 1 lap down. The 77 Woodard Automotive Machine looks like he may be sitting out of round number 2, as there you see Juan Jimenez going to go ahead and bring that 22 machine down to pit lane. Oh boy, it's going to get pretty interesting here, because Nathan Estep has the opportunity, and oh my gosh, we got a caution. Big moment here. Oh my goodness. Trying to get word on what it was, where it was. And we're now hearing word that the 48 of Brandon Pamath had caught up in an on-track incident, bringing out our first and only caution of the night. Less than 10 laps to go. Let's go check the replay. The U.S. Air Force sponsored 48, just a little bit of a moment there. And he's going to go ahead and go around. No contact with the self-spin. A little bit of a lazy spin there off of turn number 1, but whew, man. Spencer, you said Atlanta's gonna be wild. I think we might have a little wild one right here on our hands. I think we may see this one some drivers may not be happy with each other by the end of this one. Just saying. Tyler Woodard, one of those championship hopefuls, caught, stuck, 1 lap down right now. He's going to get the lucky dog and give himself a shot to make a pass or 2 and possibly move to round number 2. This is going to get good. It is going to go by quick. It's going to be hectic. And oh boy, you better hold on. I tell you what, speaking of hold on, we're going to step away for just a brief sponsor break. Pay a few of the light bills. You know how that thing goes, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back for your run to the end right here from Pocono Raceway. You're watching the 83D 160.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
And welcome back trackside as the field receives the one to go. We'll have 4 laps remaining when we see the green flag fly once again under caution for the first time here tonight in the AD3D 160 with the Colonial Clash Racing Truck Series. Round number 1 of the playoffs well in underway. Who's going to do what it takes to move on to round 2 and have a shot at it when we head to Atlanta Motor Speedway? Tyler Woodard was your lucky dog. He's back into contention. And this is about to get good. It's going to be crazy, I can tell you that. I promise you, you will not be disappointed with the action that you are about to see. So as you've seen, as we were coming back trackside, as always, show these drivers some love and appreciation. Let them know you enjoy all the racing action week in, week out, each and every Wednesday night here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. As always, drop them that thumbs up, show them some love while you're here, while you're at it. Join us in that push to 3,000 subscribers. Drop the thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. Glad you stopped by tonight, because it's about to go down. Pace car ready to duck off. We're ready to fire off once again here from Pocono. Into the restart zone, and green flag flies once again as everybody up through the gears. Drivers begin to make some moves heading to turn number 1. Race leader going to take that outside lane down into turn number 1. Here we go. Smalling with the advantage over Parkhurst. We'll work our way through the center of 2 wide. Oh, driver's able to go full throttle there through turn number 1. Cody Giles taking that second position away from Mark Parkhurst, who falls back to 3rd. The 83 of Brandon Medford with a good turnaround. Medford now back inside of the top 5, right where he qualified here tonight, sitting in that 4th position. How about John Gutekunst? John Garrett also back inside the top 10. Good run by both of those guys. We're going to take a look back through the field, though. We've got championship implications on the line as the field works their way off of turn number 3 back across the stripe. We stay green for the restart. Timing and scoring back in effect. And let's go look at the drivers battling for that final spot in your championship 12. Juan Jimenez and that 22 machine looks down to the bottom of the racetrack, looking to get around the 74 of Dalton Hayes. And the 5 of Scott Baker out to his outside. Here comes Tyler Woodard with a run. Ooh, this is gonna get good, I'm telling you. 3 laps to go. But oh no. Down at the bottom of the racetrack. Slipping up just a little bit. That's going to open the door. Oh my goodness. Almost into the back end of the 77 with a big run out of the total turn. Obstacle sticks on display as your race leader crosses the start-finish line. We'll see 2 to go. Back at the front, though, let's go back to the battle for the race lead. We'll keep our eye on that transfer spot back in the background. Gibbon still holding on to Woodard right there, battling for that position. Tyler Rex, Nathan Eastep going at it. We got a lot of hot and heavy action here at the closing laps of tonight's AD3D 160, 65 laps in total for these truck drivers. Just 2 remain. Back through the tunnel turn once again. Smalling continuing to lead, and Giles gets into the outside wall. Cody Giles pancakes the right side off of the outside wall. He maintains composure and position for the moment. Let's get back to some more of this hot and heavy action. A little further back, take a look right here. There you can see that 46 of Chris Medford. He was on the outside looking in moments ago as the white flag flies. Final lap, 3 more corners to go for Thomas Smalling to wrap up his second checkered flag of the season. Let's jump back, though. We gotta watch it. We gotta see it here in just a moment. Can we get it, guys? Can you get back there? We got a camera on that. There we go. There we go, right there. Tyler Rex, Juan Jimenez, Tyler Woodard, all lined up. And Jimenez will not be denied, sitting on the inside of the championship 12 for the moment. Looks like Tyler Woodard may be watching season number 3 unfold from the sidelines as far as it does indeed look like that's going to be it. It is going to be the end of tonight's race. A little bit of timing and scoring issues there. We do apologize, and how anticlimactic did that make that? We do apologize for those issues there, but Smalling celebrating, drifting on his cool down lap, walking away with the race win. Checkered flag in hand. Brandon Medford gonna finish in second with Cody Giles rounding out the podium here tonight in third. Your top 3 will move on, and they will celebrate here on the front stretch. What a great run here tonight for that 21 machine as he gives the fans in the stands a little bit of a smoke show. Now we're going to get set up and ready to go for your post-race show here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, trying to catch up with a handful of your podium drivers. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back trackside here from Pocono. And back live trackside, ready for your post-race show here at Pocono Raceway after the AD 3D 160 comes to a close. Let's see if we can grab and have a few words with your podium drivers here tonight. First up on our way to victory lane, let's see if we can grab a quick word for the driver inside of that 7 truck. Cody Giles, it's Dave of the booth. You got me again, bud?
Yes, sir, I do.
Hey, man! Another great run for you and your 7 crew, man. You're starting to make a habit of this, huh?
Yeah, we're definitely taking strides, man. Last week, we came home with the win at Auto Club, and I said that we're going to try to take strides in this playoffs, and we're definitely doing that. And I just didn't have anything for Thomas. I mean, he was lights out, of course, and so being able to bring home third and being able to walk away and go into the next round, man. That's all I care about. Just going into the next round.
Yeah, well, you mentioned it first. Moving on to the next round, we dropped 4 drivers at the end of each one of these championship races, all the way down to Homestead. Now that you've cleared round 1, how much more concerns do you have as we head to some tricky ones here in the next 2 weeks? We're going to head to what could be a wild Atlanta race, and then the concrete Monster Mile Dover International Speedway. Are you a little concerned about either of those?
Oh yeah, for sure. Atlanta, with the new repave and it's pretty much turned into Talladega and Daytona. It has some cause for concerns. More close quarter racing. Everybody's just trying to jockey for position. Uh, because of the 4 round elimination. 4 drivers eliminated from each round. So pretty sure every person, well, every driver is gonna try to jockey for every position in Atlanta. So it's for us, I think next week our best strategy is probably going to have to be qualify up front and just stay up front and make really good strategy calls. And pretty much what we've been doing for the past 2 weeks. If we go and do this, same stuff we've been doing for the past 2 weeks, we'll definitely, move on. But for sure, it is a scary thought considering Atlanta is one of those tracks where it's just everybody is so close to each other, and what makes it even more of a challenge is you've got other drivers that are wanting to move on from that round.
Yeah, absolutely. We couldn't agree with you anymore, Cody, on with multiple things that you went over and said right there. If you continue these runs, I'm sure you'll continue your quest to the championship for there at Homestead. Congratulations once again on another podium. And before we let you go, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous before we head out of here from Pocono?
Yes, sir. Fort Worth Screen Printing, Geotech, Goose Graphics, IRLC, um, Oot Renovations, Pro Cup, Red Spoilers, Woodard Automotive, 1776 Motorsports, you know, um, the Patriot team, with John and them. Like I said, every time I've been in the booth, can't give those guys, enough credit to allow me to come onto their team and be a part of that team. So it's pretty awesome. And yeah, so appreciate to all them guys and you up in the booth, man. It's been a hell of a season, and I can't wait for many more.
Absolutely. Well, again, Cody, congratulations with the 3rd place run here tonight. And we'll see if we can't catch up with you again at Atlanta.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, there you go. Final few parting words here tonight from the driver that walked away with the final spot in the podium, finishing 3rd here at Pocono, the 7 machine of Cody Giles. That's going to move us right along in the running order. Let's see if we can't grab a quick word with Brandon Medford as he climbs out the truck. Brandon, great race for you here tonight. Great finish, a good qualifying effort. Had a little bit of a rough spot there for a moment in the middle of tonight's race. Walk us through what went on and how you were able to recover so well.
Well, to be honest, I got lucky that caution came out. I mean, I was coming back through the field, but early on in the race, I was trying not to lose a bunch of spots. Couldn't get down to the bottom, and I think the 84 truck and I just touched a little bit, and it made the truck really tight in the next corner, and I bounced off the wall. Went back to 12th place. Didn't get my fast repair that first pit stop. I didn't really think it was that bad. I only had like 12 seconds, but um, kind of found a little something there at the end of that run. Started chasing some of those guys back down, made a pass or so, and that second pit stop, I got my fast repair, and holy smokes, that's what I needed. I should have done that early on, and then a great pit stop there. The second time also, I passed somebody getting in the pit road, and then just drove the crap out of it the rest of the race, and then that caution there at the end. I was able to stay the high side of Parkhurst, and then Giles smashed the wall. They're coming off of the tunnel turn, I think, and uh, gave me a good run at second place, and didn't have the tires to run with Thomas there at the very end, but still very proud of the effort and sticking with it and getting a second place finish after that dismal start.
Now, we're going to ask you a little bit of a tough question here tonight. I know you're going to be happy with the fact that you're moving on into the championship run. You're going to have a shot to continue your championship dreams here in season number 3. Your brother and teammate, Chris, is also going to move on with you. But Troy Radford, out of your Falcon Motorsports team, not here tonight. He's going to fall out of the opportunity for that championship trophy. Now, is it a little bittersweet losing one of your teammates here in round 1?
Yeah, it is, Dave. Would have loved to have all 3 Falcon Motorsports trucks in the top 3 there going into the last race to battle it out for a championship. But also, also that's one truck I don't have to worry about beating because Troy's really good, as you know. He's been on fire here lately. He's been really fast. Chris has been too. So, and it's not going to be easy to win the championship in this series, anyways. Got some really fast guys, but would love to have had Troy there at the very end. But also, don't have to compete with him now, so that gives me a little bit better chance to win it. And we finished second in this series by 3 inches last season, so I'd love to get it done this year.
Absolutely, and we hope to look forward to seeing you at a Homestead battling for that season championship. But again, congratulations walking away with second place here tonight. You continue to have these great runs, and we'll continue to have these great talks, man. We've been making it a thing of it this season, and a good run so far for you and everybody on that 83 cruise. So before we let you go here tonight and enjoy a comfortable second place finished, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home or at the shop?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you, Dave, for the broadcast. Always love going back and seeing what I could have done better. You do a great job, and I appreciate that. I want to thank all the admins of the Colonial Clash Series. They do a great job. They put on a great league. The racing speaks for itself. And thank my Falcon teammates for being there, helping us get to the front and be what I consider one of the top 4 trucks every week. Thank my family. And then I'd also like to give a shout out to all the guys that came and ran in our benefit race for Zoe and Ellie's place. We actually met our target, Dave. We raised $2,000. We're gonna send some checks to those 2 folks, but couldn't have done it without the fans and the drivers from this league and other leagues that we run and that you broadcast. And so thanks for letting me broadcast that before that happened. We're gonna do it again next September, so be listening and ready to race in that or to donate and try to beat that $2,000 mark. So thank you, Dave.
Absolutely. Well, Brandon, a pleasure as always. Congratulations on moving on into round number 2 with your championship hopes still alive. Until we see you again, my man, stay safe, keep it fast, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks, Dave. See you later, bub.
All right, there you have it. Final few parting words from the man inside of that Zoe's place. Race for Riley, 83 Chevy Silverado, parking it in second. Great run, great job here tonight from that 83 of Brandon Medford. And that's going to move us right along into victory lane. Let's go celebrate and pop some champagne with Thomas Smalling, man. Dominating performance here tonight from Pocono. What you got under the hood?
Well, it felt like I had more horsepower than the other people, but really it was just trying not to make that many mistakes and not hitting the wall that kind of costed other people. But in the end, paid off, and the strategy I did work too.
Now, a lot of strategies, or strategists, I should say, kind of look at Pocono as one of those road course-esque type of tracks. Does your road course ability, does it help you at all here with these very different, very dynamic corners? Turn 2 very different from anything else that we see out there. Turn 3 pretty flat. They say it's about 13 degrees of banking or somewhere right there, but seems very flat out there. Do you think your road course skills kind of lend a hand to your dominating performance here tonight?
Yeah, I just felt like it helped with my consistency and being able to get in a rhythm and really chain together corners and then laps and then just get the same lap times over and over again, which really helped me.
Well, we got to ask you this. We wouldn't be giving the fans what they want to know if we didn't ask you this. Late in the race, comfortable lead, caution flag flies. What went through your mind?
Honestly, I thought that the people with fresh tires were going to win from past experience because I thought that the tires had fallen off so much that they just get the run on me, and there's like 4 laps remaining. So I thought they had plenty of time, but when the green dropped, like the tires had cooled down enough that the pace equalized enough. So
Yeah, Thomas, again, congratulations on the race win here, setting yourself up heading into next week's race with your championship still alive. How do you feel about Atlanta and Dover?
yeah, Atlanta's kind of who knows what's gonna happen because it's pretty much a super speedway now. So anybody could win there. Really, just have to survive that race. Dover, you have to survive the race too. But I'm pretty good there, so I feel comfortable about that. But Atlanta's a bit of an unknown.
All right, well, you heard it from the man himself. Last time you heard him say he was comfortable at a track, he dominated, and y'all better watch out. Thomas is coming for y'all at Dover. No, I'm just kidding, guys. I'm not starting nothing. Thomas, my man.
I want to jinx it now.
I'll knock on a lot of wood here. We'll drum roll it for you. Congratulations on a great performance here tonight. Walking away with the pole, led the most laps, checkered flag in hand for your second time this season. Congratulations on a great run. Before we let you go and celebrate the rest of the night away, though, would you like to give any final shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home or at the shop?
Yeah, shout out to Pro Cup iRacing Experience, JST Racing, Woodard Automotive, Circle B Diecast for being on the car, and yeah. Thanks to everyone for racing me clean. Wait, just one more. For Cody Giles, he really helped me on that last restart instead of pushing the issue. Really race clean there.
All right, well, we're gonna have to talk to Cody. He can't be helping you, man, like that. Not when you're that good here tonight. You were lights out. I think I would have tried to push you out of my way, maybe. No, I'm just kidding, Thomas, man.
We were all
Again,
just trying to make it to the next round there.
absolutely. Well, again, my man, congratulations on a great race here tonight from Pocono, and we'll try to catch up with you in next weekend at Atlanta or maybe at Dover.
Yeah, I hope so. Hope it'll catch me in Homestead. So thank you, and see you there.
All right, well, there you have it. Fun, a few parting words, and a little bit of a joking moment there between myself and your race winner here in the AD3D 160 from Pocono Raceway, grabbing the checkered flag for the second time this season, walking away with the race win and into round number 2 of the playoffs. The 21 of Thomas Smalling. What a run. What a night here tonight from Pocono Raceway. We've seen multiple green flag pit stops, long green flag run here tonight. We had to go all the way until, I believe, 6 laps to go before we seen a caution flag fly. Over 7 different race leaders, 10 lead changes here tonight. So what a great night indeed here from Pocono Raceway. And you can hear those familiar tunes in the background. You know the producer's ready for us to roll. So let's go ahead and give you your unofficial race results here tonight for the AD3D 160 in the Colonial Clash Racing Truck Series. Taking the checkered flag of the top spot, parking in victory lane, the 21 of Thomas Smalling. Brandon Medford going to slide home in second with Cody Giles rounding out your podium drivers. 23 of Mark Parkhurst going to finish in fourth. In the 46 of Chris Medford will recover from the pit road penalty to round out your top 5. John Kudikun's going to come home in 6th with John Garrett back in 7th. Dustin Franklin brings his Fort Worth screen printing eSports machine home to an 8th place finish. Brandon Pamitan right behind him in that 48 machine. He'll move on into round number 2. Guy Clem also moving on to round 2 with a 10th place finish. The 55 of Nathan Eastep walks away in 11th with Juan Jimenez back in 12th. Tyler Ricks 13th. Tyler Woodard going to finish tonight's race in 14th position. Dalton Hayes back in 15th. James Oot in the 65 going to walk away from the track in 16th. 17th place tonight belongs to Scott Baker, and that's going to finish out the running order for tonight's race here from Pocono Raceway. What a night, what a race. If you haven't already, you know what to do. Show these drivers some love and appreciation. Let them know you enjoy all the green flag racing action week in and week out. Join us in that push to 3,000. Drop these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side to get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Well, there's myself, Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 Racing Network. We do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by, whether you're just sliding in to say hey, or you're one of the dedicated fans, friends, family, or many sponsors. We do appreciate each and every one of you. Without you, there would be no us. So as we wind up the cords and cut off the lights, remember, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.